The Detroit Lions are gearing up for their first home game of the 2025 season against division rivals, the Chicago Bears. After a disappointing defeat to the Green Bay Packers in Week 1, the Lions have something significant to prove, both to themselves and their fans. But here's where it gets controversial. Detroit's path to victory hinges on some crucial battles across the field. And how these matchups unfold could dramatically shape the outcome of the game. First up is the showdown between Lions wide receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown and whoever lines up at nickel cornerback for the Bears. St. Brown struggled to make an impact in the season opener, but this week, his performance may shift substantially depending on Chicago's personnel. The Bears' starting nickel corner, Kyler Gordon, missed last week's matchup against Minnesota due to a hamstring injury and has yet to return to practice. With Josh Blackwell also sidelined by a groin injury, veteran Nick McLeod stepped in but struggled notably. In past encounters, St. Brown and Gordon have faced off 5 times, with the Lions star hauling in 26 catches for 303 yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging an impressive 5 receptions and 61 yards per game against this defender. Gordon has sometimes successfully contained St. Brown, proving himself a challenging matchup in their divisional rivalry. But with Gordon's doubtful status and Blackwell possibly missing the game, the Bears may rely on McLeod, who underperformed last week, failing to register any tackles and earning a low coverage grade. What does all this mean? Detroit's offense could capitalize heavily if St. Brown faces a less experienced defender. Since St. Brown shines in the slot and Chicago's backups have shown vulnerabilities, there's a real chance for Detroit to create big plays. This potential mismatch is a critical storyline for Lions fans, looking for offensive sparks this week. Next, the battle in the trenches, the Lions' revamped interior offensive line versus Chicago's formidable defensive tackles. While Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell continue to anchor Detroit's tackle spots, the interior line now features Christian Mahogany, Graham Glasgow, and Tate Ratledge. Glasgow brings valuable veteran experience but hasn't played center full-time since 2018. Ratledge just completed his rookie season, and Mahogany is still acclimating after limited snaps in 2024. This lack of experience and chemistry showed against Green Bay, with the Lions allowing 4 sacks and struggling to establish the run, totaling only 44 rushing yards. The Lions' interior line faces a stern test against Chicago's defense. Gervon Dexter was a disruptive force against the Vikings, working alongside veteran Grady Jarrett. However, Jarrett's availability is in question due to a knee injury. If he cannot play, the Bears will likely insert backups Andrew Billings or Chris Williams, who both graded poorly in the opener. This scenario could tilt the balance in Detroit's favor, especially considering their running back duo Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery ranks among the best in the league. If Detroit's interior line can exploit Chicago's weaker defensive tackles, they'll have the opportunity to finally jumpstart their ground game. This internal battle is pivotal and could directly influence whether the Lions' offense regains momentum. Lastly, the cerebral clash between Lions defensive coordinator Kelvin Sheppard and Bears head coach Ben Johnson promises to be a fascinating subplot. These two have a shared history. Johnson joined Detroit's offensive staff in 2019, and Sheppard became the Lions' linebackers coach 2 years later. They've collaborated and competed against each other in practice for years, gaining deep insight into each other's coaching tendencies. This mutual familiarity adds an intriguing strategic layer to the game. Sheppard's defense held Green Bay to 266 total yards in Week 1, while Johnson's offense managed 329 yards in a loss to Minnesota, showcasing some versatility with quarterback Caleb Williams, who combined passing and rushing for multiple touchdowns. The Lions struggled with pass rush last week, which could pose problems given Williams' mobility and ability to extend plays. Chicago's offense distributes the ball widely across receivers, tight ends, and backs, though their running game was less effective against the Vikings, relying heavily on ex-Lion DeAndre Swift as the primary ball carrier. Meanwhile, Johnson can prove his offensive strategies effective in dismantling a well-prepared defense. Which side will outsmart the other? This is a question that fans and analysts alike will be debating long after the final whistle. So, as the Lions look to bounce back from a shaky start and the Bears aim to build on their own early season matchup, these three key pairings, the weaponization of St. Brown against Chicago's secondary, the trench warfare on the interior line, and the chess match between coaching minds could be decisive factors. Which matchup do you think will have the biggest impact on the game? And does Detroit's potential advantage in personnel mean victory is all but certain? Or is the deeper question whether the Bears' resilience might overcome these apparent mismatches? These are not just game day considerations. They're debates that cut to the heart of strategy, skill, and preparation in the NFL. Feel free to share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Do you agree with the analysis, or do you see a different story unfolding on Sunday?